pasahero na na-offload raw sa kanilang flight. Karamihan sa kanila natatagalan daw sa immigration. Sa unang weekend ng Marso, mahaba ang pila sa mga check-in counters ng mga domestic at international flights sa NAIA Terminal 3. Sabi ng airport staff, parami ng parami ang mga dumarating na pasahero sa NAIA. Si Joy, mahigit 5 oras ang inilaan para sa kanilang flight pa Hong Kong. Matapos mag-check-in, sinagutan na agad ni Joy ang departure immigration card at hindi na lumayo.
Konting time na lang yung para sa immigration, tapos may second interview pa. Pag may hinihing documents, ma-provide namin para may enough time pa kami.
Narinig at nabasa raw ni Joy ang kwento sa social media ng ilang pasahero na na-offload o hindi makasakay ng eroplano sa kanilang flight, tulad ng isang pasaherong papuntang Palau nitong February 24 mula sa NAIA Terminal 3. Kwento ng pasahero sa post, maaga raw silang nag-check-in at pumila sa immigration pero naiwan daw ng flight dahil anya sa haba ng pila sa immigration. 3 lang umano ang bukas na immigration booths. Sa pag-verify ng BI, 21 immigration officers ang naka-duty noon para sa 15 flights na may nasa higit 3,000 pasahero. Minamaximize daw ng BI ang kanilang manpower, pero problema raw sa buong mundo ang mahabang pila sa immigration. Sabi ng BI, nag-commit ang MIAA na dadagdagan nito ang espasyo para sa immigration sa mga susunod na buwan. Pag-aaralan daw nila ang pagdadagdag ng electronic gates. May ilulunsad rin daw na e-travel portal para mabawasan ang fini-fill out na paper forms. Paalala ng BI, dapat makapag-check-in ng hindi bababa sa 3 oras bago ang flight at dumiretso na sa immigration area. Si Evangeline, minsan na raw na-offload kaya mas inagahan na ang pagpunta sa airport.
Minsan kasi di mo na-check sa ticket mo, may problem pala dun sa di ba, sa apelyido, pangalan, oo. Ma-check ka agad.
Sabi ng MIAA, may programa na sila para sa paghahanda sa pagdagsa ng mga pasahero sa summer at gumagawa na sila ng mga karagdagang improvements sa kanilang mga pasilidad. Para sa GMA Integrated News, JP Soriano, nakatutok 24 oras.
So, that video you just saw, it's about offloading in the Philippines. That's the term they use. Like when people are traveling and they go through immigration to leave the country, and immigration makes an assessment whether you're traveling for a lawful purpose or maybe you've been duped. Sometimes that happens. So according to the government in the Philippines, they do this to protect people, because some people have gone abroad out of desperate needs or wants and find that they were duped into thinking they have jobs overseas, and they end up being locked up in some place or probably brought over to work in prostitution or in illegal employment. All sorts of horror stories. I think the way you deal with that is through education, to educate the populace. But I think it's kind of wrong that people who really go on vacation, and they may not be able to satisfy the so-called questions that the immigration official is asking. So what happens is that they end up being offloaded. It was back in 2016. Somebody had asked me to get a ticket for her because she didn't have a credit card, and she wanted to fly in Cebu Pacific to Thailand, and she wanted to visit there. She was working in the Middle East when she came home and figured out it's time to see some other place than where you work, which was, I think, Kuwait, yeah. But they had other plans for her. She had hotel, everything all set. and the immigration, she had like $700 US, and immigration wouldn't let her go. Well, she contacted me from the airport by Viber, and I contacted the travel agent to see, if they can get in touch with immigration to say, yeah, this is a bona fide tourist. She's going to visit, and she did business with the company. Apparently, no such thing exists in the Philippines, because usually, like some travel companies, they may have like contacts. You see, if there's a problem, they may have contacts at the airport. They can call up certain people, because if you're in a business whereby you have people traveling and they can run into problems, you should develop some kind of resume whereby you have contacts that you can get on the phone and you could call somebody up, like in immigration, and say, this person is bona fide. This is not somebody going on one of those illegal work sites, so human trafficking or sex trafficking or what have you. And that's how it should be, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. And the lady really kind of got annoyed at me for calling, because I wasn't the one who was traveling. The woman who was traveling, she was the one. Everything was just dashed like that. She had all her dreams and aspiration, see a different place in the world, all cast aside because of immigration. So I think it's really unfair that they still carry out these kind of policies whereby somebody can arbitrarily decide that you can't board a flight to take you out of the country unless you want it for a crime, unless there's a warrant for your arrest or something, or there's something you didn't fill out that needs to be attended to. Because if you look at the map of the Philippines, it's surrounded by water. There are like 7,000 islands. So your neighbors are looking at you across from water, different islands. It's not like the rest of Asia. Like if you live in Malaysia and you want to visit Singapore, you can do that. You want to visit Thailand, you can do that. Yeah. And once you get up to Thailand, you can visit Burma, you can visit Cambodia, and so forth. You see? So as I was saying here, if you once you get to like Thailand from Malaysia, you can visit Burma, Cambodia, Laos, and while you're in Laos, you can even get up to China. Yeah. And while in Laos, you can head over to Vietnam, because Vietnam is on the other side. Yep, to the eastern border with Laos. So you have a feel to yourself, see? So the Philippines happens to be like maybe the most unlucky country in Southeast Asia or in Asia, because they can't really visit their neighbors. They can't really hop on a train, you see? They don't have outlet that they can just move around at free will, you see? Like other people in Asia can do, Because you look at the ASEAN countries, ASEAN, right? Association of Southeast Asian Nations. They allow them, they have visa, they can travel around freely. So if you're from Indonesia, you can go to like Thailand, Vietnam, all these different countries. Filipinos too. Filipinos technically, they can travel at free will. However, trying to get out of the country is a different story. You see? So it's not that easy, which is very, very unfair. Because it's like, you look at all these other people, you speak to some of the people from like Southeast Asia, some of them been all over, like Hong Kong, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia. But usually with Filipinos, it's like, okay, they go overseas, but mostly to work. But that shouldn't be the story. The story about Jack being a bad boy, no play, all work and no play makes Jack a bad boy. So that shouldn't be it. It should be that you should be able to go out and enjoy yourself, and you shouldn't be able to say, well, I have this great job, and I can afford to travel. Even if you are not well off, you still should have the right to travel. Traveling shouldn't only be for people who have jobs or who have money. Traveling should be for people who want to explore, and they happen to have some money, and they can go there. That's how it should be, Yeah. It should be that if you believe that you want to see the world or you want to see other places, the government shouldn't be telling you that you don't meet certain criteria to travel. And unfortunately, that's how it is in the Philippines. Very sad.